of oral presentation for Singapore lacks no punch, with its Deputy Prime Minister S. Jayakumar laying out the key facts to show how Singapore is the rightful owner of Pedra Branca. Addressing the panel of 16 judges, Professor Jayakumar, who is also the Law Minister, reminded the court of specifics like how Malaysia has not produced a shred of evidence which attributed the island to Johor. He said Singapore, on the other hand, has openly and continuously conducted a full range of state activities on Pedra Branca. The Deputy Prime Minister also emphasized how Malaysia didn't have an original title to Pedra Branca.
The original title is but a mirage conjured up by Malaysia, and it continues to be a mirage.
Professor Jayakumar highlighted a 1953 letter from the Johor government at the time to Singapore. In that letter, Johor said it didn't claim ownership of Pedra Branca.
Malaysia is clearly embarrassed by the 1953 disclaimer of title by Johor. Malaysia tries hard to discredit the disclaimer by arguing, and I quote, "It is not a model of clarity." Not a model of clarity? What can be clearer than these 10 words? The Johor government does not claim ownership of Pedra Branca.
Professor Jayakumar added that even as late as 1975, Malaysia had published a map which indicated that Pedra Branca belonged to Singapore. In fact, Malaysia only claimed Pedra Branca for the first time in 1979 when it published a new map of its territories which included the disputed island.
This came after 130 years of silence, after 130 years of failure to assert Malaysian sovereignty, after 130 years of conduct and admissions against its own interests, including an express and unequivocal acknowledgement of Singapore's title.
At the end of the session, Professor Jayakumar told Singapore reporters that the team has worked well together with the Foreign Council to present a persuasive and convincing case on behalf of Singapore.
It's still early days. There's much more work to be done, and we have to be alert and agile to any surprises that may arise when Malaysia presents its case next week, and therefore our team is going to work hard in the coming 2 weeks.
Just within 4 days, the Singapore team of 8 members gave over 10 speeches. They dished out facts and evidence to prove Singapore's ownership over Pedra Branca. Next Tuesday, the Malaysian team will have their say in court, and you can expect the Singapore team to be all attentive in preparing for counter-arguments. Mei Wong, Channel News Asia in The Hague, the Netherlands.